So I want to come on here today and talk to you all about the way I eat and how I schedule my eating around my training so that I can maximize my results. Now, the way I do this is through intermittent fasting. So for years, I always thought, a workout's a workout, and as long as I do one 3 to 5 times a week, as well as putting the right nutrition in my body, I would eventually gain muscle and build the body I want. However, about 6 months ago, I came across someone talking about intermittent fasting and all the different health benefits it can have. These benefits include improved weight loss, insulin resistance, inflammation, heart health, brain health, anti-aging, improved life expectancy, and even the possibility of reduced risk of cancer. So, given all this, I decided to give it a try. Now, I want to be very clear. Intermittent fasting isn't a diet, but it's more so a tool. So, to explain better, intermittent fasting doesn't specify which foods you should eat, but rather when you should eat them. Now, clearly, better foods will produce better results, but that's not really the point. The point is that if you're not intermittent fasting, you're probably missing out on tons of health benefits and probably working a little bit harder and longer in the gym than you need to accomplish the same results. But to better explain how intermittent fasting works, you first kind of need to know the difference between the fed state and the fasted state. So your body is in the fed state when you begin eating and lasts for around 5 hours until your body absorbs that food. In this state, it's very hard for you to burn fat because your insulin levels are really high. Then, after about 5 hours, your body will go into a post-absorptive state. Now, that state will last for about 5 to 7 more hours, or roughly 12 hours after you ate your last meal. Now, it's at this time where your body will enter the fasted state. And it's in this state when it becomes much easier than before for your body to burn fat because your insulin levels will be much lower than they were in the fed state. So to give you an example, every day I wake up and go about my day while not eating or thinking about food until about 2 p.m., sometimes even later. Then at 2 p.m., I typically have my first meal, followed by my second meal around 5 p.m., and finally a bigger, larger third meal around 8 p.m. Sometimes I combine them into two bigger meals, but once 10 o'clock hits, I generally don't consume anything over 50 calories until that cycle starts again the next day. All right, so the reasoning for this specific schedule is all based around my workouts and the timing of them. So I typically work out from about 12 to 2. So if you do the math, that's about 14 to 16 hours into my fast. Now, that number is so important because, as I previously mentioned, it's not until 12 hours post your last meal that you enter the fasted state. Therefore, by working out 14 to 16 hours into your fast, you're able to maximize your results. Now, I've only been doing this for about 6 months, but it has not only immensely changed my physical performance, but also mentally. I feel much clearer, more alert, and I feel like I have more energy. I've noticed an increase in muscle mass, decreased body fat, set PRs on almost all my main lifts, and all while decreasing the time I spend training and eating. So this is really a great tool if you're looking to get lean without going on a crazy diet or cutting your calories down to almost nothing. It's also a great way to keep your muscle mass while staying lean. Therefore, intermittent fasting definitely benefits the individual who's looking to lose weight rather than gain it. However, using myself as an example, it is possible to slowly gain lean muscle mass while using this method. The thing is, you just really need to make sure you eat a lot during your eating windows or open them up a little bit so you can fit the proper amount of nutrition in. So whether you know it or not, you've probably already done intermittent fasting at some point in your life. For example, if you've ever gone out on a Saturday night and then not ate again until a late brunch on Sunday at 1 or 2, you've intermittent fasted. So intermittent fasting requires very little behavioral change, which is why I'd highly recommend trying it. I think it's simple enough to where you can do it, but also meaningful enough that it'll make a difference. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it useful. Any questions or comments, feel free to leave below and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.